Hey, what is up guys? I'm KBHD here, and yesterday Amazon released their Fire Phone, and basically every major tech publication wrote something about it. It's at sort of an all-time high in terms of curiosity right now, and I didn't expect to see so many people interested in it, but I've gotten a lot of questions about it. So the Fire Phone is a new smartphone with a custom OS from Amazon, Fire OS. It's built on top of Android, and it's based around a couple of pretty unique features. The number one of these being what's called dynamic perspective. In fact, I just sent out an email to a lot of people who are interested today saying that this is the first smartphone with dynamic perspective. It's kind of like 3D, but not really. So the phone has 4 front-facing cameras, one on each corner, to track your face, and it uses a tracking with an accelerometer and gyroscope to shift what's on the screen a bit to make it feel more immersive. It works with their new custom user interface. It works with a few apps here and there when you tilt, works with a few games here and there. You can use it to scroll down lists and pages without touching the display.
Yeah, this is neat. This is really neat.
When I turn it, it moves.
Whoa!
The Verge actually did a great hands-on video with the phone, and I'll have that linked right below the like button if you want to check this out in action. To a lot of people, this will either scream awesome or gimmick, depending on who you are, but either way you look at it, this is the main headlining feature of this phone. The second major feature is what's called Firefly, and it has its own button on the side of the phone. When you press it, it opens up Firefly and just starts scanning with the camera and the microphones, and whatever you point the phone at, it will recognize it. So if you have a TV playing a show in the background, or if you have music playing in the background, or if you point it at an object, it will scan that and recognize it and then bring up a link to buy it. On Amazon, of course. Amazon is hoping you'll really like this feature and start taking major advantage of it and buying lots of things on Amazon based on what you recognize around you. Pretty self-explanatory, this is supposed to make Amazon more money. But besides those 2 major new headlining features, there's just a couple of other things sprinkled in. You have your Mayday live text support, so the same thing that was on the Kindle Fire tablets, you now get that live quick text support on the phone. And since it's the Fire OS made specifically for this phone, you have a couple of other features like a notification tray, live weather updates, some gesture stuff to get to quick settings. It's made to compete, and it's got these new features to stay with that. You also get a free year of Amazon Prime. But here's the thing about the Fire phone. It costs $650 off contract, and that brings up a lot of questions about what exactly you're paying for here. And to be honest, basically all of this phone's features, except for dynamic perspective and I guess Mayday, could be packaged into an app, one app, a $5 or $10 Amazon Fire app that could look at what the camera's looking at and interpret it and give you an Amazon link to buy it. We actually already kind of have versions of that. You've probably already heard of Shazam and SoundHound, where you can just listen to whatever music is playing and it'll give you a link to buy that song on iTunes or Amazon or whatever. And then at one point we had what's called Google Goggles, which you've probably already heard of, which let you just point your phone at anything, it would recognize it, and then give you a Google shopping link to buy whatever you were getting. It didn't always work, it wasn't perfect, but it did basically the same thing. And at one point, Google Now even had that command built into it. So Amazon could have built a Amazon Fire or Firefly app and just packaged that and sold it on Android and iOS stores and called it a day. But because they decided to make a phone out of this and not just an app, now they have to make all these things for the phone. They have to make the custom Fire OS for the phone-sized screen now. They have to make all these custom apps because they don't have access to the Google Play Store or the iOS App Store. And for third-party apps, they're still going to depend on Amazon's App Store because, again, they can't use the Google Play Store or the iOS App Store. And they have to do manufacturing and production and packaging. And Amazon's never made a phone before, so this is their first try at all of that. I'm not doubting them, I'm not saying they can't do it, but this is a lot of work to do for these features you want to sell people. And they also have to work with a carrier to sell this phone, and they only worked with AT&T, so it's exclusive to AT&T at this point, and it's $650 off contract. So they made a $650 phone instead of an app or two. I mean, I guess on one hand, that's kind of ballsy and confident about what they have to offer, but on the other hand, that seems pretty silly. Not everyone has to make a phone. Remember when Facebook decided we have to make a phone and the HTC First was born? How long did that last, really? So I'd be surprised if we saw this Amazon Fire phone last as long as that. I mean, I'd be surprised if we saw a version 2 of it next year. Even for 200 bucks, Amazon's Kindle Fire tablet makes more sense because you actually get a unique new form factor specifically for reading. You know, it actually has some advantages over other e-readers in the $200 price bracket. I just don't see any of that with the $650 price bracket and the Fire Phone. Even if it's $200 on contract with AT&T, there are better options out there. So sorry, Amazon, probably should have made an app. So I wasn't able to get my hands on one of these phones early. I'm not that cool. I didn't get to get hands on. But my first shot at actually playing with this phone would be pre-ordering one, which would mean paying the $650 with the pre-order. I have that link below, and then waiting a month for it to actually come out. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Amazon. Like, I spend lots of money on Amazon, probably more than any other site on the internet. I'm an Amazon Prime member. Most of the people I know are Amazon Prime members. We all get our textbooks from Amazon, but I won't be buying this phone, and neither should you. So that's the Amazon Fire Phone explained. Feel free to share this video, get the word out. I've gotten a lot of questions about this phone, so this is the video for people who are asking questions. So if you know people who are curious, share this video with them. And that's been it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.